Yo, what's going on today, guys? It's Sam here. Today we're doing an Angel Room tier list for repentance. So if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm doing this list kind of based off, these items compared to other angel items, not compared to the major item pool. Because to be honest, the angel pools and the devil pools tend to be better than most items in general. So I'm going to be ranking this based on how good it is to see it in an angel room, right? So for example, Angelic Prism, I would say is a B tier item overall, right? Like it's better than a lot of the really, really qual 0 items like the poop, Able, stuff like that. But compared to the angel deals, if I go into an angel room and I see Angelic Prism, I'm probably going to put it in C tier because obviously you want to be looking for a better item and you're not that excited when you see Angelic Prism, but it still is an okay item. So yeah, that's how we're going to be ranking things. We're starting out with Angelic Prism, putting it in C tier because again, it's all right, but it won't carry your run. You need other good items to really make it work or be really strong. So we're going to put Angelic Prism in C tier. Now, Book of Virtues. I'm actually going to put Book of Virtues in A tier for a couple of reasons. One, spawning in whiffs is really, really good. It gives you great defense, right? The way that it can synergize with other items like Satanic Bible or, Book of Shadows, right? If you get a good combo with Book of Virtues, it will carry your run. Not to mention its utility in that if you take a devil deal and then get Book of Virtues later somehow, angel deals not only are open again, but you're actually favored to get angel deals throughout the run. So if you get a devil deal while you have Book of Virtues and you've been in angel rooms before, you can take that devil deal and still walk the angel path to look for Seraphim or look for more better angel items that are in the pool should you choose to do that. So its utility with actually allowing you to continue to get angel rooms, I think is really, really worth it. So we're going to put that in A tier on top of its defense. Active Contrition, I'm going to put in B tier for the angel pools. I think it's a really good item, to be honest, in general, compared to the rest of the items in the game. But, it's just a kind of a small tiers up. I will say, though, actually, I'm going to put it in A tier. I think it is an A tier in the angel pool, only because if you take red heart damage after taking active contrition, the amount of the chance that you lose for taking red heart damage on the floor of getting your angel or devil deal is drastically reduced. So even if you take red heart damage, you have a really good chance of actually getting your angel or devil deal still. And it does the same thing with Book of Virtues, in that even if you take a devil deal, you can still have angel deals spawn in. So I think that's actually pretty valuable for the angel pool. Now, Blood of the Martyr, I'm going to put in B tier. It's not that good, but it is a damage up, and it has a secondary effect where if you use Book of Belial or a Devil card, that damage amp is up by 50% more. So I actually think that it's pretty good. It's a great damage up. Damage ups are good, right? That's all it is. You're never depressed about getting a damage up. So yeah, there's that Breath of Life. I mean, I'm putting that in D tier. I think that's no surprise to anyone. It's just a bad item. Every item pool has it, and Breath of Life, when's one time you ever walked out of an angel room and been like, yes, I got Breath of Life? No, never. So Celtic Cross, I'm going to also put in C tier. It gives you a small chance to have invulnerability based on your luck stat after getting hit. So, you can spam Temperance Machines with it. It is a part of the Seraphim set, which does make it a little bit better than D tier, but you're not going to get that item and be like, oh my God, my run is great. No, you never will. So Celtic Cross, gonna be in C tier for me. The Censor, I'm actually gonna put the Censor in A tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put the Censor in low A tier. These are not in order, but I would say it barely made A tier. It really slows tiers down a lot, and the only time it can be problematic is against Hush, where there's so many tiers, it almost makes a minefield of tiers. But against any other enemy, it slows everything down so much. And it's really, really good defense. I love getting it as the Lost. The Censor helped carry my Lost runs just by slowing everything down so much. It made it so much easier to dodge. So because of that utility and how much it slows everything, and this is all personal preference, right? If you disagree, that's totally fine. I really like it in the Censor, though. It really allows me to speed up my game and makes my margin for error much bigger than it usually is. So yeah, Circle of Protection, I'm going to put in B tier. It's a good item. Makes this little ring around you that sometimes will deflect tiers and do damage to enemies and make those tiers that are deflected homing for you. It's an okay item. It is what it is. It's not going to carry your run, but I think it's a little bit better than these items here because you can be proactive with it. Crown of Light. This is not going to surprise anybody. S tier for sure. While your red hearts are full and you haven't been hit in the room, you're going to get a 100% damage multiplier, a shot speed down, and you get 2 soul hearts when you pick it up. So it's a really, really good item. Anything that doubles your damage while you're in the room, is really, really strong. So you can't put that anywhere other than S tier for sure. Kind of like no explanation needed. Dead Dove gives you flight and spectral tears, part of the Seraphim set as well. Gonna put that in A tier. Flight and spectral tears are two really good tier attributes and utility that you really, really need to make your runs much easier. Lets you shoot over cover. You can kite way better. Just great utility all around. Flight in and of itself is really strong, and getting spectral tears on top of that in one item is just really, really good. And it's a part of the Seraphim set, so not bad. Dead Sea Trolls. I mean, terrible, right? We don't even need to talk about this. It's just bad. We don't like this. We don't like it. It's terrible. Delirious, I'm also going to put in D tier. It's just a really buggy item, and it's got such a high charge rate. Like, you're not happy if you leave an Angel Room with Delirious. It doesn't really even do anything that great for you. So we're going to put Delirious in D tier. Divine Intervention. Putting that in B tier, it's one of 3 of the Seraphim set. I find it hard to remember to use it consistently. It is great defense. When you use it, you double tap your shot key or your shoot key, and it puts this Divine Shield that will deflect everything, including enemy Brimstone, back at the enemy. So it's kind of like full counter from 7 Deadly Sins if you've ever seen it. But, I don't find it to be that good. It seems really situational to use, and it is one of 3 for Seraphim, and you can use it defensively against bosses that normally would be annoying, that, shoot Brimstones that are super fast at you. It can help you out there, which is why it's just above C tier. I like the item. I think it's cool. I just don't find it to be all that useful. So Duality, I'm going to put in A tier, right? Well, I probably need to put that in B tier. I think Duality can be really, really good, especially if you get like your first Angel deal. It basically allows you to choose when you want to go into an Angel deal or a Devil deal, because they will both spawn in. Rather than if you're trying to go the Angel path or trying to get the key pieces to fight Mega Satan, you want to make sure you get Angel deals this run. If you get Duality, as long as the room spawns in, it's guaranteed to let you choose to be an Angel deal or a Devil deal. So, you know what? I'm actually going to put it in A tier. Especially if I get an early run Duality, I'm really happy with it. And I think that it gives me the opportunity to get more Angel deals to get the better S tier items. So yeah, I'm going to say Duality is actually A tier. Eden Soul, I'm going to put in B tier. It can be really good. It also can be not what you want, right? It doesn't immediately carry your run, but it's going to spawn in 2 item pedestals from whatever room that you are in. So you can use it again in your Angel room. You could use it in a secret room. You can look for a lot of different ways to use it where it can definitely be really good. But it's not necessarily a run carry, because sometimes it'll spawn in good items, sometimes it'll spawn in bad items, and because of that inconsistency, I'm going to put it in B tier instead of A tier, but it can definitely be good. So, the Eucharist, going to put that one in A tier as well. I mean, it doesn't necessarily guarantee you a really good run, but, guaranteeing an Angel deal on every floor one can spawn in is really, really strong. Usually it works out well and will give you a good item, but there are some times where it will not, and you'll just end up getting a bunch of garbage, which does happen. But I will say that more often than not, if you get the Eucharist, you're going to have a good look at some of the S tier items that we're going to be getting to later in the run. Later in the tier list. So here we go. 7 Seals, I'm going to put in C tier. I would say it's a B tier item overall in the game, but to be honest, if you go into an Angel deal and you see 7 Seals, you're not thrilled. Right, you're like, oh, I got Harbingers. Okay, it's like, I'll take it, but I was definitely hoping for one of the items that you're going to see above it as the list goes on. Genesis, and this might surprise people. I'm actually going to put Genesis in S tier for a couple of reasons. One, it gets you way more selection on the items that you have had. 2, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to, right? It's not like there's no downsides. Like, you don't have to take it. You see it, you're like, okay, well, maybe I'll hold it for later, get as many items as I can, and try to look for a better run. What Genesis does, for those of you who don't know, is that obviously it takes you to like this home-like room where every item that you have, you lose, start fresh, but 3 pedestals spawn in front of you, and for every 1 item that you had, 3 items from that item pool get put in front of you, and you have to select 1. So basically, it's a full run reroll that lets you select items from the item pool you took your items from, but you can only select 1 of the 3 it shows you. So it's as if you got the chance to re-roll 2 times in each room that you got an item from, but you get to pick which one you want. So it gives you a very wide selection. Like if you have a lot of angel items and you get Genesis towards the end of your run and it hasn't been that good, you can use Genesis and you're almost guaranteed to find at least one or two good items. So I think Genesis is really fun. It's really good. It can turn runs around, and you don't, want to use it in your run. You don't have to, but when you get to the end, you can just pop it for the fun. So no downside to Genesis. I love it. Glyph of Balance, I'm also putting in C tier. It can be good. It gives you 2 soul hearts and will drop you pickups throughout the run based on what you actually need. Like if you have a low key count and a high bomb count, and the game will drop you more keys than bombs. So it can be good, but it's not a carry item. Like it's not going to carry your run. So you don't see it and be like, oh my God, Glyph of Balance. Yes. It's like, oh, well, I got Glyph of Balance. I guess I'll take it, right? I don't think this one's going to surprise anybody. Godhead for sure going in S tier. I think Godhead is definitely on the weaker side of the quality 4 items in Repentance, especially after its nerf. I wish it didn't give you the little stat down. I wish it didn't give you, the shot speed down. It's freaking Godhead. It should be good. It should be better than Sacred Heart, in my opinion, considering how hard it is to unlock. But, it's still a really cool item. Your tiers become homing and get this big damage aura around them that only deal 3.5 damage a second. So you can stack up damage really quick. It's homing shots, which are really good. And it's just cool. That's all it is. So yeah, we're Team Godhead here. We love Godhead. Guardian Angel, I'm actually going to put in C tier. I really don't like getting Guardian Angel. It's a familiar. It will pull tiers into it to block them for you. I just don't think it's that good. Like I almost want to put it in D tier, but at least it's a projectile blocker and it has some use. Nun's Habit, I'm also putting in C tier. It's not a bad. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. I'm putting it in D tier. In the Angel pool, it's a D tier. Like I don't think it's a D tier item overall. I think it's more like a B tier item. But if you don't want to get it in an Angel room, you want to get it in a shop or something else like that. But you get Nun's Habit in an item room, an Angel room. You're just like, damn. Like why did I get Nun's Habit? Like I wanted to get one of those other better items. So it's not a bad item, but definitely don't want to see it in your Angel pool. The same goes for Hallowed Ground. Like Hallowed Ground is all right, but it'll spawn this holy poop on you that gives you a budget Star of Bethlehem effect with homing tiers. So it can be good, but the poop gets destroyed really easily. And it's not a run carry. It's just an assist, right? You want to get a run carry from an Angel Room item. So yeah, Hallowed Ground going to be C tier. Holy Grail, I'm going to put in B tier. It's 1 of 3 for Seraphim. It gives you Flight and an HP upgrade. Flight is at least B tier utility no matter what. And it's 1 of 3 for Seraphim. And it gives you a health up. So, Flight and an HP upgrade. Pretty good utility, but not a run carry. The same goes for Holy Shot. Holy Shot has a chance of, when you hit somebody with the Holy Tier, it will smite them and do, that giant boom, the big white light from the heavens and do damage. It can be really, really strong. It's definitely in the better half of the items, but it's not insane damage. If your luck stack gets really high, it can be really good because it'll spawn in more. And it definitely can end up doing a lot. I think I have to put it in A tier. I take it back. I'm wrong. I think Holy Shot is A tier. I think the damage that it does, especially if you end up getting a high luck stat, its ceiling and its potential is really, really high. So I actually am going to put it in A tier. This one's not going to surprise anybody. Holy Mantle, definitely going to be an S tier item. 1 of 3 for Seraphim as well. You get 1 free shield in each room, which will eventually add up to your health being way higher later in the run. So that extra hit that goes beyond health, definitely really good. Protects your red hearts if you don't have any soul hearts. Very solid item. And this might surprise people. Holy Water, if this was Afterbirth, I'd say D tier. But man, those Holy Water buffs are strong. Gonna put it in A tier. Any enemy that does not have Flight, if they're in Holy Water, they take a good amount of damage, and they also get frozen in place like they're in Mom's Contact. So it is really, really strong. It's great against Hush. And if you get BFF, it has a giant blue fire in it. It'll respawn multiple times in the room, so it's great for mobbing and boss killing all around. I like Holy Water. Quality 3 item for a reason. Immaculate Conception, I'm going to put in C tier. I mean, basically every 15 hearts that you pick up, it will spawn in an Angel Familiar. I just don't find the Angel Familiars to generally be that good compared to at least the Devil Familiars with Cambion Conception, because none of the Angel Familiars are offensive, believe it or not. All you have is Seraphim, and it's not even that good, right? So yeah, we're going to put Immaculate Conception in C tier. Immaculate Heart, I'm going to put it in A tier. It gives you an HP upgrade, full heals you, and gives you a 20% damage up, while also putting this like spectral tier that flies around you in a circle. You can shoot a lot of them, and they have like a Sacred Heart effect. So Immaculate Heart is definitely one of the better angel items. I mean, hey, it gives you a damage up and a health up. One of the few items that actually gives you that in the game. And not only is it a damage up, it's actually a damage multiplier. Now, granted, it's only 20%, but that can end up being quite a big number. So yeah, I think Immaculate Heart definitely going to be in that A tier. Jar of Wisps, I'm going to put in B tier. Obviously, if you get it early in the run, it could be really, really good, and you can spawn in dozens and dozens of wisps. But, it's definitely not the best item, but it's not the worst either. I think I'm happier when I get Jar of Wisps over a lot of these, and definitely over those. But I'm definitely not as happy when I see it instead of one of these. So yeah, it's not a run carry, but it's still a really good item and can end up being pretty dope. Laz's Rags, I'm going to put in C tier. I mean, they did get a buff, so I almost want to put them in B tier. But when you get it in an angel room, you're just not excited. Like, I'm not happy to get Laz's Rags in an angel room unless I have, like, Damocles or something, or I need the extra life. Actually, you know what? I am going to put it in B tier. Because of its buffs and the insurance policy it gives you with the extra life, it was buffed so that, when you die and resurrect as, like, Laz Risen, the damage up you get, a part of it is actually permanent. So you can hit sack rooms and you only lose one heart container and then it respawns on the next floor. So you have an insurance policy on every floor and it'll only cost you a heart container. So I think that actually is a little bit better than C tier. Little Delirium is going in D tier. You just don't want to see that. I don't even need to explain that. You don't want to see that. Miter, part of the Seraphim set. It's not, I almost want to put it in B tier, but basically, it just converts some of the red hearts that would spawn into soul hearts. So it'll keep your health okay, but I don't really find it to be exceptional as an item. Monstrance is going to put a damage aura around us. Because it's damage, I'm going to put it in B tier. Arguably, I think it's about as good as Miter, but strictly because it's damage, and having damage is just so good, especially a damage aura around you. It'll help you out throughout the run, and it looks fucking dope. I think it looks really cool, so we're definitely going to put Monstrance in B tier. Pascal's Candle. This might surprise people. I'm actually going to put it in S tier for a couple of reasons. One, obviously the item gives you a tears up every room that you complete and goes back to 0 when you get hit, and you have to build it up 5 or 6 rooms to get it back to max charge. This item is so good because it allows you to not only go over the tears cap, right? It's one of the few items in the game that actually can do that. But, if you're having a bad run and your tears are low, it just will increase your damage as long as you don't get hit. And an item that not only can save runs like that the second that you get it by drastically increasing your damage, but also goes above and beyond the tears cap of the game, can be a limit breaker. And when you break limits, that's when you start to find the best items and synergies in the game. So Pascal's Candle definitely going to be, or Pascal's Candle, I'm not even trying to pronounce it, definitely going to be in S tier. Prayer Card, I'm putting in C tier. I'm never happy to see Prayer Card in my angel room. I'm like, okay, wow, Prayer Card. I was hoping for something offensive, right? Like, there are very few times where I look at that, I'm like, oh yeah, I want the health. Purgatory, I'm going to put in B tier. I mean, actually, I'm putting it in C tier. I'm putting it in C tier for my angel room specifically. Like, I think Purgatory is a B or A tier item overall. I just don't like getting it in my angel room because, again, like, I'd rather get an item that directly is going to influence my damage or give me big utility. Like, a lot of the times when you see Purgatory in your angel deal, you'll probably already have a decent amount of items, right? Like, realistically, you don't see your angel deals until at least the 3rd, more often than not, the 4th or 5th floor. So once you get to that point, generally you're damaged at the point where you don't necessarily need Purgatory anymore, and it's not the kind of item that you're looking for. So I'm putting it in C tier for now. I do think it's a good item, and I like it, but I just don't want to get it in my angel rooms. This is not going to surprise anybody. Revelation, absolutely in S tier. I mean, gives you flight, 2 soul hearts, and the angelic beam. It's, the angel room's version of Brimstone. Really, really strong. Also gives you freaking flight. Like, it might have the most overall utility coverage in the entire angel pool, because obviously it just doesn't give you the damage up, but it doesn't give you homing either. But like, having flight and an angel beam for infinite range with 2 soul hearts too is just hard to beat. Rosary, I'm gonna put in B tier as well. It's got a nice tears up, 3 soul hearts, 1 of 3 Seraphim. I think it's a little bit better than Blood of the Martyr. Like, I consider these two to be about equals, and we'll also put the Bible in pretty much every single item pool. So yeah, I mean, it's a good tears up, give you DPS increase, and 3 soul hearts. I almost I have to put an A tier. I think it's just a little bit better than a lot of these because it increases your DPS and gives you health. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm coughing. I think that makes it a little bit better than most of the other items in the game. So, Rosary going to A tier, and this is not going to surprise anybody here. Sacred Heart obviously going to be S tier. 230% damage up, slight tears down, +1 damage on top of that. Homing tears with the health up and the full heal. Just a fantastic item. Sacred Heart is borderline an instant win. You get Sacred Heart, you're not going to be struggling for very long. So definitely what you're looking to see when you go to your Angel pool. So yeah, hell yeah, Sacred Heart. Now, Sacred Orb also going into S tier, man. Sacred Orb noticeably makes your run better. What it does is it automatically re-rolls low-quality items into higher quality items. It has like a 33% chance to roll it into a quality 3 and a lower and lower chance to roll it into qualities 4 and sorry, it has a highest chance to re-roll a quality 0 into a quality 2, a lower chance to roll that quality 0 into a quality 3, and a little bit lower chance to roll it to a quality 4. It will noticeably increase the quality of items you get throughout your run every time you get it. So Sacred Orb, man, really, really good item. Makes the odds that you see these poggers run carry items way higher, and you will notice it whenever you pick it up. Salvation, I'm going to put in A tier. It's pretty good. It's just not quite here. Right? You know, Salvation basically puts this ring around you that whenever an enemy stays in it for a couple seconds, it makes a perpendicular beam of revelation on that enemy. And every time you get hit, it expands off you for the rest of the floor. It can end up doing a lot of damage, and it's a great defensive item that ends up being offensive. And it's really, really strong when used right, especially if you get like a Temperance Machine or Dull Razor or something like that. It's also 1 of 3 of Seraphim. So Salvation gets the +1 from me. I'm going to put that in A tier. Scapular, I mean, obviously C tier. I think it's a little bit better than these simply because it's 1 of 3 Seraphim. You can hit sacrifice rooms indefinitely with it, right? But let's be real, you're not happy to see Scapular in your Angel room. Seraphim, I'm going to put in C tier. You know, it's an offensive familiar, and it's all right. I almost want to put it in B tier. But, dude, it's just you don't want to see that. Well, I think it is B tier. I think it's a little bit better than these because it does do 10 damage a shot. With homing, it's definitely one of the more offensive familiars in the game. So yeah, I guess it does help your damage just a little bit, but it's definitely not up here. Soul Locket. This might surprise people. Most people probably think it's B tier. I'm actually going to put it in A tier. Soul Locket gives you a stat up every time you pick up a Soul Heart, and it ends up being really good. Like, it will consistently increase your stats across the board. So I like to think of it as a little bit of an all stats up for your run. The earlier you get it, the better, because you can run into more Soul Hearts. It lets you hit sacrifice rooms, and if you get the 7 Soul Heart payout from sacrifice rooms, you end up with big stat ups. So if you get proactive with the play and really hunt down these Soul Hearts, it can end up really making your run pretty strong. You just won't quite notice it unless you're paying attention. Spear of Destiny, I'm putting it in B tier. It does do decent damage, but it just doesn't have the utility and strength as these items here. So I'm definitely going to put Spear of Destiny in B tier for the Angel pool. Spirit Sword, I'm going to put in A tier as well. It's a little weird because, like, you know, it's a fun item, but there are times where you don't want it. But it can definitely be really strong and save your damage in runs. Like, if your run is fucked and you get Spirit Sword and you don't have stats, Spirit Sword will make up for you not having stats, and it'll get you up to like a baseline threshold where the run is doable. So for that reason, I like it. But that doesn't mean I'm taking it every time if I have items or like Revelation or something else that I'm enjoying shooting my tears, that I won't pick it up. But otherwise, I still think it's a really cool item. Star of Bethlehem, putting that one in S tier. I know some people might be surprised by that, but direct pathing to your boss room and an insane tears rate and damage up plus Sacred Heart homing tears is not something you trifle at. It's basically a better version of Hallowed Ground, where if you play in your Star of Bethlehem, you will not lose your run. You just won't. I don't care what you say. It will save your run immediately when you get it if you follow it throughout where you need to go. And the pathing is so good in the womb and onward that it'll save you a lot of time. So Star of Bethlehem, definitely going to be an S tier item. Stigmata, I'm going to put in C tier. This damage up isn't good enough, so I basically just consider it to be a health up in the Angel pool specifically. It's definitely going to be a C tier for me. Sword Protector, I'll put in B tier. The only reason I think it's a little bit better than Guardian Angel is that if it gets hit by 10 projectiles in the same room, it'll drop you an Eternal Heart. So technically you can health farm with it, and just because of that, I'm going to put it in B tier, a little bit higher. Bible is going in C tier. I mean, you just don't want to see the Bible in your angel room. Let's be real here. Like, it's just, there's better stuff to get than the Bible in your angel deal. The body I'm putting in B tier will give you 3 red heart containers. It's a substantial health up, which is why it's definitely above these guys, but it's also not a run carry. So we'll definitely put the body in B tier. The halo is also going to go in B tier. It's a very small all stats up. Great speed up, though. I almost want to put it in A tier. It is a part of the Seraphim set, but I don't think its stat ups are big enough for it to be in this pool in terms of like run carry. It'll help your run, but like these items can directly turn your run pretty much immediately. And the halo is almost there, but just not quite there. So it's a good item. It's a very solid item, and we like it. The mind is going to be going into A tier, full map pathing, secret room, super secret room, shows you everything you need to see. Really, really strong item. Getting the mind is really fun in runs. You get all the info you need. It just makes you, it's a great safety net to have. So yeah, definitely going to be A tier for the mind. The relic, going to drop a soul heart every 6 to 7 rooms. Going to put it in B tier. It can be very good. Obviously, it will keep your health in the game, but it's not a run carry in that if you don't get good stat ups and you haven't got good offensive items, it's not going to be enough for you to win your run. But if you're having an okay run, it'll definitely keep you in the game. To no surprise here, the soul definitely going to go into A tier. Not quite at that S tier. Well, you know what? I can't quite put it in S tier. I can't quite. It's almost there. It's going to give you 2 soul hearts and give you like an almost a almighty push around you, where if tears start coming towards you, you get this like pushback anti-gravity almost that will push tears away from you. It will definitely save you from getting hit. It's one of the best defensive items in the game, and it's really cool, right? So we're going to put that in A tier. The stairway is basically this in the same box as the Eucharist, except you can get it every single floor, and being able to get angel items for money is really strong. So I'm going to put the stairway in S tier. It gets you great looks, gives you an angel stack shoe every single floor, gives you a judgment beggar every floor to blow up, also lets you buy soul hearts, holy cards, eternal hearts from the shop at the start of every floor. So because of that, it's almost a little bit better than angel deals in that way, because it's not that hard to farm money, and it'll give you looks beyond where a normal angel deal with Eucharist could spawn in, right? You can get the stairway in any floor, whether it's, the corpse, the womb, cathedral, Sheol, dark room, chest, the void, doesn't matter. You're going to get an angel shop every single floor. So really, really strong, gives you plenty of looks. The wafer, also going to be an S tier, reduces incoming damage by, well, basically it makes it so you take half damage from everything, right? So in the floors where you usually take one entire heart of damage when you get hit, you only take half a heart, including sacrifice rooms, including temperance machines, right? It reduces everything by 50%, effectively doubling your health pool, making it incredibly, incredibly strong. So the wafer, definitely S tier. Trinity Shield, I'm going to put in B tier. It's a great damage blocker, right? Great defensively. It's kind of in the same boat as the body, where its utility is really good, but it's not going to carry your run, right? When you go into your angel rooms, you want those run carries, and Trinity Shield just isn't going to do it for you, but it is a good item. Trisagian, I'm also going to put in B tier. I almost want to put it in C tier, but the only reason why I don't is that if you get homing, it's actually really, really good. Especially against big hitbox bosses like the Beast or Mother, it can end up deadlifting. And just because I've seen it literally deadlift runs with if you get telepathy for dummies and like Cricket's Head or something, or not even Cricket's Head, just decent damage stats, you'll do a lot of damage with Trisagian. It'll surprise you. So I recommend trying it out next time you pick it up. Urn of Souls, gonna put it in B tier. It's a fun item, but like it's not a run carry. So yeah, I don't really need to explain that. Every enemy you kill turns into a soul, goes into the jar, and you can shoot blue fires out of the jar. Fade Retro, C tier. I mean, it was supposed to be a pretty cool item, but I didn't end up liking it that much. It's just not that good. It's just not going to carry your run. And Void, to no surprise, I'm going to put in S tier because, again, it just makes everything consistently good. You can carry a ton of items inside the Void, and it's just a cool item. So yeah, that's my Angel Room tier list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments. I think these are the best items in the game in the Angel Pool from best to worst. So that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next run. Take care. Peace out.